Hey, Nicole here. Okay, we're going to talk about Gemini now. So Gemini as an archetype, this is an air sign. This is also a mutable sign. So as an air sign, that means these people are concerned with and interested in the use of their mind. Okay, Gemini also being a mutable sign, this gives them a flexibility. They have a quality of flexibility, a quality of sort of mutability, changeability with their personality type. The way this plays out when you apply this to an air sign is you've got somebody that has a great sense of humor. Geminis typically can be a little goofy and a little silly. Russell Brand actually is a Gemini sun. His Mercury is also in Gemini, conjunct his sun. Mercury rules Gemini, so there's a correspondence. It's like, in my mind, they're the same thing, more or less. One's a planet and one's just the archetype, but they do the same thing in a personality, in a birth chart. So he's got this natural kind of silly side to him, this great sense of humor, but it's also coupled with a great intellect. He's very smart, he's very intelligent, and that's what makes his humor successful, is his use of his wit. So, you know, this is a pretty classic Gemini trait, is they have a good sense of humor. They like to keep things, they don't like things to get too heavy, okay? Now, this is Gemini as a pure archetype, okay? You can be a Gemini sun and be somebody who has a Scorpio moon, and you actually underneath really like intense emotional involvement. But on the surface, it's going to play out. You're going to be somebody who feels lighthearted and kind of jovial and fun, all right? Now, Gemini also, these people are, because this is the twins, you have these people, and it's Mercury that rules Gemini, this quick little planet. They are multitaskers. They always have their fingers in a bunch of different pies. They always have many projects happening at once, and this applies to their love life too. They like to have, many times Geminis are very flirty, because communication is what Gemini is all about. You know, this is the back and forth between two people. This is I always say it's the birds in the trees chirping at each other. It's women gossiping. These are all Gemini type activities. So Geminis in their social relationships, whether with just friends or with loved ones, they like variety. And even if they only have like a small group of friends, like let's say you have sort of an introverted Gemini, these friends are going to be probably what you would consider like a nerd or a geek. Like they're going to be into sharing with each other, talking with each other about some sort of a system, whether it's like if they're into gaming, or, you know, if they're, whatever it is, it's their personal passion. They're going to have friends that they like to talk with about and communicate with about and throw ideas around. Okay, that's all the air signs. That's what gets them excited. They feel alive when they're in the realm of ideas. Okay, Gemini is also, if you had a pure Gemini, they are not very comfortable with, like I said, these deeper emotions. So if you're dating a Gemini or married to a Gemini, a pure Gemini, they probably would prefer to intellectualize the relationship. They probably prefer to talk about things in a very kind of high level, rather than emotionally connecting deeply, you know. And I know maybe that sounds harsh, and it sounds very generalized, and of course it is. We're talking about an archetype. We're saying the Gemini archetype as it plays out, a pure Gemini archetype as it plays out, is going to be purely about the logic, okay? Geminis also, since they're ruled by Mercury, they can tend to be sort of hyperactive and have issues with anxiety and nervousness. So it's important for Geminis to have an outlet of some kind for their nervous energy. Yeah, and so other than that, that's pretty much Gemini in a nutshell. Whether you're a sun or a moon, I guess we could discuss this. A Gemini sun is going to display more, again, this is your kind of your life, your force, your essence. So you're going to be somebody who's intellectual. Gemini rules teaching. Gemini rules learning. It's, you know, books, reading, writing, anything to do with using the mind, right? From a personal perspective, this is you using your mind out in the world. So from a moon perspective, you've got a Gemini moon. This is somebody who's going to be interested in connecting with other people socially, but from a place of having great conversation, feeling stimulated intellectually, being somebody that, you know, you could write a letter to a Gemini moon and express how you feel in a letter, and they would probably appreciate that. but you know, using a little sense of humor, making it fun and light and breezy. That's quite Gemini. So, all right, hope that's helpful. Okay, bye.